Good afternoon and great day to all that are here. First of all, let me say how great it is to still be amongst the living. So many times we take so many things for granted that we never take the time just to say, I'm grateful just to be alive. I want to first give a great shout out to Channel 52, who is doing an amazing job, and their owners, Mr. Anand Chowdhury, and my great sister and friend, Farah. Thank you so much for always giving up to date, front and center, positive, inspirational, encouraging, and insightful messages to our viewing public. Tonight, I have a very special guest. He is one of my dear friends. We've been friends for years. He does it all. He's an entrepreneur. He's a great elected official. His family is amazing. We've bounced things off of each other as we are elected officials in sister cities. And, you know, he's up for election on Tuesday, but he has a wealth of knowledge. So I want to bring onto the stage and present to some and introduce to others none other than my friend, the council president of Prospect Park, Councilman Anand Shah. Let's give it up for Councilman Anand Shah of Prospect Park, the one and only. There is none other like him. So welcome tonight, Council President, for coming. I know that you're busy, but when Channel 52 calls, I don't know if you're like me, when they call, we come running. So let's start off our conversation on tonight. If you can introduce yourself, talk a little bit about who you are and what you've done, and then we'll go right into the questions.
Thank you so much, Honorable. First and foremost, Honorable Councilwoman Mims, taking your busy time out of your schedule. Obviously, you work in a very busy city, the third largest city in the entire state of New Jersey. I also want to congratulate you on your past election that was just happened recently. Congratulations on your victory. The community has spoken. All 6 wards in your town have spoken. So congratulations. And I'm looking forward to your swearing ceremony, obviously, and looking for bigger and better things to keep moving forward. So congratulations to you and your family, and congratulations to Patterson as well. Now, moving on to Channel 52. Thank you for having me on. To Anam, to Farah. It's a great evening to always be on Channel 52. It's honorable. It's an honor and a privilege to be here this evening. Thank you for everyone that has tuned in on a Sunday evening. You could be anywhere else, but you are tuned in on Channel 52. Obviously, we will have some important and valuable information, like the Councilwoman Mim just said. I just want to remind each and every one of you, like Councilwoman Mims already just said, that this Tuesday, we are less than 27 hours away. On Tuesday, June 7th, is primary election day in the state of New Jersey, as well as in my borough of Prospect Park. We do have a primary election. I am on the Democratic row A all the way. And I am asking each and every one of you to please exercise your right to vote, your civic duty. Please do it. Let your friends, your family, your neighbors know to please come out and vote. We cannot take this lightly. It takes only just a minute, 2 minutes now with these new machines. If you need rides to the polls, if you have a vote by mail ballot, let's get it in the mailbox. Let's get it in the security election box. But let's do our civic duty to keep continuing to move our Prospect Park forward as a team. A little bit about my background is I joined in Prospect Park in 2007. I've been, like Councilwoman said, I've been self-employed for over 20 years now. I do have a Subway fast food chain that some of you may have heard, honest fast food chains as well, and In-N-Out Express, Puente Grande. So I've been doing it all. And now I also joined in 2016. I ran for office in 2016 in office for primary election. And we also prevailed, obviously, thanks to each and every one of you and your community support. And you guys have taken me with open arms. And since then, it's been sky's the limit. We have made a lot of progress in the last 4 years. And we want to continue to make that progress, obviously. We want to continue to be your advocate. We want to be your voice. You have put your voice, your trust in us. And I'm honored and I'm privileged to be here this evening.
Thank you. I think I'm going to bring you on as my co-host. You sound like you want to be an anchor on the show. So maybe we'll open up the opportunity. So to the viewing public, if you have any questions that you would like for our council president on tonight, please send them in and we will try our best to get to all of the questions within the time frame that is allotted, or comments. Encourage, our council president who's running and up for re-election, and the entire ticket that is running as well. or if you just have any comments. So thank you so much for your vote of confidence and support in my reelection. I really appreciate it. We've been friends for a long time, and your wisdom and encouragement has been amazing. So let's get right into it. You know, I go straight. Look, I'm a straight no chaser person.
I know.
So Tuesday is a very important day. It is primaries. Sometimes people take it for granted. We know and we saw in the last election that there is voter apathy. And the question is, what is going on? Why is it that people are not voting? And then the second part of that question is, what are you going to do and your team to ensure that you rock the vote and make sure that we come through victorious, and make sure we educate the voters on making sure that the right people get their seat at the table?
Absolutely, Honorable Councilwoman Mims. Great questions. So there's two parts to that question. Why are people not coming out to vote? In my opinion, what I've been seeing, and again, it doesn't have to be with a Prospect Park or Passaic County or even on a county or state level. In my opinion, I think it starts on a national level. I think what I understand, and when I talk to residents and constituents, some of them are maybe a little bit upset, frustrated, maybe on a national level, because maybe of the rises, the inflations, everything that's going on. So I always encourage, even when I'm on Facebook, also when I'm in public, even when I'm at the events, at the rallies, still, please, even if you're upset, we want to be able to be at the federal office. We want to be your advocate, not only for Prospect Park, but on the county level, state level, federal level, on our governor's office. That our governor also advocate for us for the state of New Jersey on a national level. So that's my opinion of what's going on that. The part two of your question, Councilwoman Mims, how do we get the vote on Tuesday, and to make sure that we do everything in our power to get the message out and to make sure it's not a low voter turnout, obviously. Tuesday seems like a promising day in terms of weather. Polls are open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. We have sent out 3 mailers as the Prospect Park Democratic 2022 team. We have done, our campaign team has done door hangers. They have done door hangers. They have done text messages reminding everybody to vote. I just came back about 45 minutes ago from our rally this afternoon in Prospect Park, in Hampshire Park, as some of you may have heard, at the Spray Park. We had a great diverse turnout, great diversity. We had a DJ there. We had a face painting going on. We had a magic show. They're cooking, our volunteers are cooking right on the grills, hot dogs, burgers, couple hundred drinks, everything else. We had a great day, a great evening of fun. But like you said, Councilwoman Mims, all that is great and is greatly appreciated. But again, it only takes less than a minute or 2 minutes. And that's what we're encouraging, to please come out and vote. Please let your neighbors and friends, even if each and every one of you just tell 5 people, your friends, and encourage them to come out and vote, it'll be a bigger turnout. It could be a bigger turnout on a Prospect Park level as well as the county level. So that's what I'm encouraging. We also got a great, I think we have a great team on Row A all the way. We want to continue and keep moving the future and progress forward.
I love that. And you know my slogan.
Yes.
In school, the best grade you can get is an A. So I'm not changing the grading system. It's been that way for a very long time, and I think we need to stick it out. So, with all the work that you've done, sometimes, it's hard to get that message out to the public. So I'm going to give you some bragging moments, right? I want you to brag a little bit about some of the committees that you chaired, some of the work and the accomplishments that you have done, because sometimes educating the public on what you've done, and in addition to who you are, get you across the finish line. So can you talk about some of the committees that you chaired and what you've done over the past years that you've been on the city council?
Absolutely. I'll just go back, and since I've been on 6 years, Councilwoman, that's a great question. I'll just go back like the last 4 years, just a couple quick highlights. Basically, I am the chairman for the Borough of Prospect Park. I chair the finance committee as well as the economic development. Something that a committee that was developed a couple years ago as an add-on to the finance committee, and basically the economic commitment committee is also includes like a downtown business district to bring in new revenues, new ratables that we're doing on North 8th Street in Prospect Park. Half of the building's already been renovated and it's fully occupied. We have a 44 unit 44 unit brand new apartment building that just opened up a couple months ago. We have two brand new retail storefronts right downstairs from the apartment building on North 8th Street, on the corner of North 8th and Brown. We have a grand opening coming soon in the next couple weeks, a clothing store that's opening in that building. They have some amenities in that building. Right across the street, we are where a gas station used to be. We want to enforce more parking. We want to make more parking for our business development, for our residents on North 8th Street. In the last 4 years, believe it or not, we have got almost $4.3 million in grant money, additional new grant money that is no cost to the taxpayers. That is no cost to the taxpayers. With that money, because of the relationship that we have built with our sister in city, with our Passaic County, with our governor's office, with the state, we're able to move forward with the grant money, do community projects, do infrastructure, do new road pavements. We just did a brand new soccer field that was $1.5 million. $1.5 million. We got over $1.2 million in grant money. It's only costing the town $300,000 for a brand new soccer field. And on top of that, we already have it rented out, which is bringing us close to $100,000 in new revenue that we didn't even have before. So these are the things that will also not only help us stabilize taxes, but also give us recreation, more things for our kids to do. We're improving the parks, the recreation department. We're open to recommend, always open to recommendations, suggestions. But I'm just very honored and privileged that, again, with almost $4.3 million in new grant money that we haven't seen, I mean, it's amazing in a small community to bring this kind of money in. And again, when you have strong relationships and strong partnerships, it's a win-win situation for everyone.
And I totally agree. And I love that word, relationships and partnerships, because there's no I in team. There's an I in win, but there's no I in team. That's my slogan. So if you use it, give me the credit. Absolutely. But there is no I in team, but there is an I in win. And in order to win, it takes a team. Yes. So the relationships are very key, collaboration, and partnering. We are a sister city. We are the third largest city, as you know, Patterson. Yes. And then we have Prospect Park, who's a hop, skip, and a jump from us. And the great thing is we've been in partnership. We work in collaboration, and we're able to come together as the county of Passaic that has over 500,000 people that live in this great county. And so we have been in the pandemic for years now. And it's getting a little better, but there's still some pockets of spikes in places. So how has the pandemic affected Prospect Park? And what are some of the things you did during those situations, which were very deadly in some cases, where people died, they lost their lives, their jobs? What are some of the things that you did to make sure that there was a place of solace or some place of reprieve for those residents that were impacted during COVID?
Absolutely. Another great question, Councilwoman Mims. COVID has impacted not only, in my opinion, in Prospect Park, the entire state, and obviously the entire country. A lot of us know we have lost loved ones, families, friends, neighbors, unfortunately, due to this deadly COVID-19 variant virus that's been going on for over 2 years. Now, slowly but surely, it's coming, I think, to a level, but then it spikes up again. So what did we do in those 2 years? Obviously, we did the PPE, if you guys remember, the masks, the hand sanitizers, stuff that was donated. We made sure that we have bags ready at the municipal building. We had our class 1s, class 2s police department. We had our recreation department. We had everyone going door to door, giving out PPE material, giving out masks, giving out hand sanitizer, gloves, when there was nothing in ShopRite, when there was nothing in our local supermarkets, not even on Amazon. So every time we got a call, we were always there. We even visited a lot of homes. Obviously, we keep our 6-foot distance. We were assuring the hospitals. Sometimes even the hospitals couldn't get them in, or they'll be on a big waiting line. We would try to assure them comfort, safety, make sure they're quarantining. We'll try to connect them, obviously, with the Patterson Health Director. You have a great director, Director Paul. Paul Prasad. So he was also, and we're always in constant communication with him. He actually came every couple of months to Prospect Park, the director, to talk to our residents as well as our community in the borough hall regarding when it came to COVID. So we always followed the protocol when it came to COVID. And even we went to some of the press conferences in Patterson. Our honorable mayor was there as well. When Director Paul Prasad and the honorable mayor side, everyone was, and even yourself, when you guys were talking about the COVID, we took that education and we took that literature right back to Prospect Park. We have a robocall system. We have a system that's called Code Red. We will always inform the residents on the COVID, what's going on as well. We will be doing robocalls. We will be doing an email blast and everything that was possible to make sure that we continue day to day servicing, even keeping our 6 foot distance, even when the municipal building was closed, working through Zoom, working through mail, working through a phone call, leaving a mailbox, a drop box outside the building when someone wants to drop off their tax payment or a permit fee. So we kept moving forward, even following the state guidelines and the protocols.
Yes, you have. And I want to say this because I'm sure to the viewing public, please send in your questions. But I want to say this because there is a council president, Anand Shah fan base. Let me tell you one of the reasons why. Now, he talked about all the great stuff he's done, but he did not talk about the fact that he knows everyone's birthday and he always delivers a cake to the residents' homes in the great city of Prospect Park. It is just amazing that I see people, the ones that he knows that we know about or don't know, but he always makes sure he does not forget. And that is a very important factor in building these relationships that we continually talk about, that when it comes time to running, that we never take any election for granted, but people will remember. There's a quote that says, it's not about what people say or what they do, but people will always remember you by how you made them feel. And I think the more you continue to touch the heart of the residents, they will never forget it. And be consistent, right? Consistency is key when it comes to being an elected official, when it comes to being on committees, when it comes to being the council president, being the person that is on the front line to be able to work with the administration, go out to the public, take the front hits, and do so many things. So I just want to commend you for the great work that you've done, and the work that you continue to do. I think is very, very key in that. So I have 2 questions for you. So one, what is your vision for Prospect Park? How do you see in this upcoming election? I'm going to say it already that you're going to get elected. I'm going to speak it into the atmosphere. But what do you see in this upcoming election that will be different from your previous election?
And that's another great question. But going back to being victorious, I want to see the whole entire team, Councilwoman Mims, the roadway all the way, even starting on our with our Congressman Bill Pasquale, our honorable Congressman, our honorable our sheriff, our county commissioners, and the entire roadway, starting with 5A, our honorable Mayor Mohammed Kurula, 6A, which is Council President Shah, 7A, which is Councilman Mohammed Surman, and 8A and 9A is your county committee candidates for each district that it is. So I want to make sure the whole team, because you also mentioned it a couple of minutes ago, team is everything. What does team stand for? Together, everyone achieves more. Again, together, everyone achieves more. Teamwork is dream work. And going back to your cakes as well, Councilwoman Mims, I just want to touch that. Obviously, we had to take a little break because of COVID, but we will be back shortly. But the reason I believe in it, and I came up with that idea on my own, is because the way I was raised, my mom and dad is the only child, and always try to give back to the community. Now, the cake is like when we're giving a fresh birthday cake, out there, right? Not only it's on my personal expense. Forget about it's coming out of my personal expense, number one. Number two, I have to get it picked up from the bakery and get it to the resident. But the reason I feel honored and delighted, because I'm in the same shoes as the residents. I want to see them smile. Birthdays only come once a year. You and I both know, and all the guests are in, unfortunately, life is short. Every day we wake up, we say, thank God we wake up today. Unfortunately, throughout the country, sometimes people are not waking up. So I understand, like, we're not getting younger. So that's why birthdays are extremely, very important to me, is that, hey, enjoy your special day. It's another day of birth. Enjoy it, and with a small token of appreciation. And thank you for all they do as well. So that's why I feel honored, and I love it. And from a side note, going back to that too, Councilwoman Mims, is that I want to just let the Prospect Park community know is that I work from the heart. My entire team works from the heart. Our entire team and the structure, the board of education, the recreation committee, the council, the mayor, everyone we work from the heart. And I want to just say a little bit bluntly is it's not for the money. The money that we get from the borough of Prospect Park, as you know, the gas prices are on the rise. To fill up my car, Councilwoman, and everyone that's viewing, it costs me $100 a tank to fill up. I don't even get $100 from the borough on a weekly basis. So what my CPA told me a couple of weeks ago is that, Nan, are you aware, my CPA, which is the accountant, that serving your community and being a council president or councilman for your community is costing you your own finances? I said, I have no problem with that because I like to see people's I like to see people happy. I want to change the people's lives. I want to be able to advocate with my team. It makes me smile. That's the way I was raised. That my heart melts. To anyone, you could be a Republican, you could be a Democrat, you could be independent, you could be a resident of mine, you could be anybody from the county. If it's something I could pitch in, something I could chip in, I'm all in. Whatever I could do, if I have it. If I don't have it, I will tell you, hey, I will try to figure a solution out how to get it to you. But I will do my best always to continue to keep moving forward. Now, go ahead, Councilwoman Mims.
No, I love that because, you know, what comes to me, right? I'm a person that always has analogies of everything. So when you're delivering from the heart, delivering these cakes, the thing that it is, it's always fresh. It's a freshly baked cake. And I think that speaks to who you are.
And I get it from your city, just so you know. The
bakery in Patterson. Yes. I wanted to put that out there, that it comes from the great city of Patterson.
I can't lie.
Greatest city ever, but comes from Patterson.
One of the biggest bakeries in the city as well.
See, and the baker. So, but Prospect Park is our sister city, and we love you. We love the work that you're doing. I really love the fact that every time you mention yourself, you mention my team. This is what our team is doing. This is how we're getting it done, and we're getting it done together. And that is the key. Sometimes there are indifferences. Sometimes, you know, egos and all these things. But I think a great team understands that we all are different. We all operate differently. We have different things to bring to the table, but we have to understand that in order for our cake, right? In order for the cake of Prospect Park to be fluffy and moist and really great to give out to the community, that we all have to work together. Every ingredient from the team has to be the right size, mixed properly. You may need a mixer or beater, whatever that takes, but it has to be properly done. And no one can walk while the cake is in the oven, because if you walk, the cake will fall flat. So we got to make sure that it's always a synergy, there's always collaboration, and there's always a relationship. And we got to make sure that we vote row 8 all the way. Absolutely. There has been the synergy. There has been the collaboration. There is a team that is intact that's been doing the work. I can speak to it emphatically about the work they've done. But I know Ms. Ortiz has a question, and there's so many comments that are giving you shout outs that Councilman Shaw is the best. But Elizabeth Ortiz is saying that violence has been growing, a growing concern within our community. So from a Prospect Park perspective, what does your council do to ensure the safety of its community and its residents?
Absolutely. And that's a great question, Elizabeth Ortiz. That's a very great question regarding the violence. So basically on what we have done, and I want to let the Prospect Park community know, we just hired recently we added 3 more police officers there on our Prospect Park Police Department. The police committee, Prospect Park Police Committee, is also interviewing Class 2 candidates, Class 2 candidates. That's coming up. We're also planning to, in the future, hire more police officers to ensure quality of life and safety in our borough. We want to maintain what we are doing in our borough. Yes, obviously, complaints to come in. In my opinion, our police department is doing a great job, and they will continue to do a great job. We answer calls immediately. We're responding to scenes immediately. But to move forward, again, We are hiring more. We are hearing you loud and clear. Obviously, right when they finish academy, the mayor's appointing them, the council's voting on it, as long as they're qualified. And we want to ensure our police department has a full force to make sure they're qualified, they're trained, they passed academy, and put them out right on the roads. And believe it or not, I think we're going in the right direction, unfortunately. And keep in mind, we also with Patterson, like with our sister city, is we also share streets with you guys as well. So Patterson has been helping us. Passaic County Sheriff Department also takes our calls, that helps us. We share Hopper Street, we share North 4th, we share Heldon Avenue. We share a lot of borders together. So it's, again, I'm going to use the word team. It's a total team effort, including Patterson Police Department, Passaic County Sheriff's Department, our Prospect Park Police Department, Heldon Police Department helps us on calls. Hawthorne Police Department is always helping us on calls as well. So it's everyone, whenever something is, and to the public, every time there's something that may go on, 8 or 9 out of 10 cases, our police department and our detective bureau are resolving within 48 hours, within 72 hours. And again, with the help of Patterson, with the help of Passaic County Sheriff's Department. We are on top of it, and we will continue to stay on top of it. And we are getting a little bit of some complaints lately in the last couple of days, last couple of weeks. I get it, and I will continue to advocate with my team until we have answers to make sure our residents are satisfied.
And that's why you have been elected and you will stay elected, because the work that you have done, it speaks for you. It speaks for your team. And that's why when you mention the row and the team, every person that is running, from Congress to sheriff to council, everybody that's on the ticket understands, right? They understand the role that they play to ensure quality of life is important, to ensure there's safety, to ensure violence, to ensure the budget is properly put in place, and so many other things. I was watching the cookout. I love Hofstra Park, by the way, but I love, even when you go to Hofstra Park, right? I'm a parks person. You know, that's my baby. I love parks. That was advocated for it in Patterson. And parks, I believe that parks save children's lives, but it builds families. I'm going to say
that's what we saw today.
Parks they save children's lives, but it builds families. So when you go to Hofstra Park, and you see, I'm going to make sure Tracy Pearson is watching from the first ward, but when you go and see your sprinkler park, and you see what was put there and placed there from what was there before, it tells you that your mindset is about the people. It's about the community, and making sure, like you said, when the money came in, the $4 million, you're making sure that first and foremost, that you use transformative leadership. Absolutely. That you're saying, how can we take that money, and then even after we utilize the money, right, or allocate it, that it's still going to bring a return on an investment. And I think that is so important. The work that you are doing with your team, I think it's amazing. To all of our viewers, please do not forget, Tuesday is important. Don't sit home. Don't put your ballot on the table and forget about it. Make sure you go out and vote. I call it rocking the vote. Yes. Rock the vote. If you are in your home and there are 4 votes in your home, make sure all 4 people vote. I tell people, you cannot be accountable for votes outside of your house if the people in your house have not voted. So make sure people are getting registered to vote. Make sure people are voting. Make sure you're telling 10 and 20 people to vote. Make sure you're calling on the phone. You're emailing them. You're on social media, everywhere, because we cannot take one vote for granted. Now, I know Councilman Shaw talked about how many days before the election. I got to give the credit to Deputy Mayor Produce, because this is what he always says. Yes. We don't count the days, but we make sure every day counts. So correct. We are counting up till Tuesday, and then we'll be forward march into November. And so the last 2 questions, the first question is this. If you had one word to describe Prospect Park, what would that be?
Great question. The best. Best. B-E-S-T.
The best. Now, I'm not going to argue with you. You know, I'm Patterson. I'm not going to argue. So, you know, I'll say Patterson is simply the best. Since Prospect Park is the best.
You're going to do a great job there, too.
I love it. I love it. And then my final thing is, I want you to speak to the viewers.
Sure.
In the next minute that we have, I want
Sure.
you to speak to the viewers, tell them why it is important to vote, and tell them why they should vote for your team, because they can
Sure.
vote, but we want to make sure they vote for the right team. So I
Mhm.
want you to appeal to our voters. Act like I've never met your team and you're trying to encourage me to vote for all of you.
Absolutely, and that's a great question, Honorable Councilwoman Mims. First and foremost, if any of the viewers have any questions, feel free to leave it in the log. If we can't answer them now, I will respond back to it a little bit later. But I will get back to your obviously your questions as well. As the municipal council and the mayor, one thing, the beauty about Prospect Park as well, and I'm sure it's Patterson as well. Every time we give out our business cards, it has our cell phone numbers on it, our direct personal cell phone numbers to our residents. So which means any issues that we are on call, just like a doctor, just like a hospital, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So the resident or the constituent could always reach out any of myself or any of my colleagues. We're a phone call away, we're a text away. I've been on the council for about 6 years now. 6 years. I have not missed one meeting. I have not even with or without COVID, I have not missed a council meeting. I have not missed a special meeting. I have not missed a workshop meeting. I know how important it is with my team to continue to advocate for our community for a better future. A couple of days ago, our governor, Honorable Governor Phil Murphy, was in Prospect Park to visit a resident just a couple of days ago. On his way out, with no intentions asked, there was a lawn sign on the resident's home. He said, "Can I kindly take a picture with the lawn sign and endorse the Roll A all the way team?" And the main thing is, I want to endorse the local candidates that are on the row. And the local candidates with the Roll A is Honorable Mayor Mohammed Karula, which is 5A, Councilman Anand Shah, which is 6A, Councilman Suman, which is at 7A, and obviously our county committee candidates as well. Even our honorable governor, as busy as he is, over 600 towns in the state of New Jersey, took the time out to visit our resident, go over some concerns, some suggestions, and on his way out has given us his full endorsement. So as a small community, we are like building relationships and partnerships that the state is even seeing. What is Prospect Park doing? Obviously, no one's perfect in my opinion. We make mistakes. We learn from it. But my main slogan is, I will always hear you out. I will never argue back and forth. I will always hear you out, and I will try to meet you in the middle and come up with a solution to move forward. Why I say that? Because life is short. I don't want to hold any grudges. If I'm not here tomorrow, I don't want to say, "Hey, I didn't talk to Shah." I want to be able to continue to keep moving forward the best to my ability. As long as my health is good, the health is wealth, right? At the end of the day, I want to see our kids, even my own son, Jaden, my one and only that's graduating this year, this month from school number 1, from 8th grade, going into PCTI. I'm working very hard for them. They're our next generation, our next legacy, our next future. So that's why we need the right leaders. We need the right team in place. We need the right advocates in place to continue to build the progress that we have done to today, to continue to move on for Prospect Park. Again, this is all working from the heart. There's no personal relationships. There's no personal favors. There's no personal contracts I owe. We don't owe anybody anything. We owe Prospect Park community, our constituents, our residents. We owe them because they gave us the opportunity to keep us in office, to keep fighting for them, to make sure they have a better future, better life, as well as us. So in closing, to the Prospect Park community, I thank you in advance for your continued support. And we need each and every one of you that we can continue to move Prospect Park forward, not backwards. Prospect Park, to each and every one of you, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. I always will, with or without a title, with or without the power. I will always be there with my team 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because I love what I do. I love to be your advocate, and I love it. It makes me smile. It makes me happy. It makes me stronger, and it makes me motivated. Thank you to each and every one of you. And if there's any further questions, I'll be more than happy to answer if we have any time. If not, I'll log it right back on Facebook, and I will respond back.
Thank you, Councilman Shah, and I'm going to congratulate you in advance. Your victory. I'm going to congratulate in advance. I want to give a shout out. I saw your mayor on, Mayor Karula on, and we appreciate the work that you do, Mayor Karula, and my sister, who is the councilwoman in Prospect Park, Miss Esther Perez, councilwoman of Prospect Park, for being on as well, and to everyone that was on. And what really blessed me, your son was on. So it must be just exciting to be able, as me, I'm a mom as well, I'm a mom and a grandmother. And, I always gauge my success, or the meter or the barometer of success, with my children. How do you think, excuse me, how do you think I'm doing? What can I do better? And so sometimes they're a little hard on me. Sometimes, it's not as hard, but I do appreciate, when your children are around, because they are the fruit of our labor. And so I want to thank you. I want to thank you for coming out tonight. We want to remind everyone, Tuesday, June the 7th is primary day. Make sure you get your ballots. You look through your ballots, vote row A all the way. I'm going to put that out there. Yes, and there are county committee people that are on the ballot as well.
We appreciate your endorsement.
And there is, I didn't hear you, Councilman.
I said we appreciate your endorsement. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. So make sure all the way across, there are county committee members that are on the ballot as well, that will be helping to make sure we get the vote across the finish line. So make sure that we go out. Remember, when you don't vote, you don't have a voice. Right. A lot of times we complain. A lot of times we sit on the sidelines. But here is an opportunity to get in the game. Let's hit a home run. Let's do a grand slam. Let's get a three-pointer in the basket, and let's make sure that we bring it home and across the finish line. Tuesday, June the 7th is our primary. Vote row 8 all the way. Thank you so much, Channel 52, to our dear friend Farah and Anad, for your great leadership in this great channel that has been providing insightful and informative information to our community for years. Thank you, Council President, for joining us on tonight. And to our viewing public, if you have any questions after we are logged off of this show on tonight, please put them in the chat. We will continue to share. And Council President and his team, they will be able to answer those questions. Thank you so much. God bless Row A. Have a great evening, and God bless Channel 52. Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you.